Apple News is dead at the moment, but I think I've worked out why. This channel recently hit 100,000 subscribers. If you're part of that number, thank you so much. And no, stop it. No, I can't take any more praise. I know, no, jokes aside, that was a pretty momentous weekend. But immediately after, I had probably the worst ever week of subscriber growth in this channel's history. That's for two reasons. The first one is that I published 2 low-performing videos right after hitting 100k, and secondly, there's just nothing happening. Sorry to get all inside baseball about this, but it is a stark reminder that you are only as good as your last video. I've got no problem with that, that's just part of the game. Things have picked up a bit since, thanks to announcements from the likes of Google. Are you looking forward to that Pixel Fold? But there's just one huge thing I cannot get off my mind at the moment about tech reviews, Apple News, rumours, and yes, AI. So I'll get into that, but first, a quick word from today's sponsor, which is Keisaku and their fantastic Magic Stand for the iPhone. Now this is actually an iPhone case. It adds 2mm to your phone, so not much thickness at all. But the reason it's called the Magic Stand is because, as you might guess, it turns into a stand. And this thing on the back is rated to over 30,000 openings, so you've got no worries about durability. It's one of those things that you didn't know you needed until you get it. And this can be adjusted between 40 to 120 degrees, so you can use it to prop your iPhone up in landscape format if you're watching your favourite YouTubers while eating lunch, or you can use it to put it into portrait mode if you're, I don't know, working out on the floor of your studio, which I never do. They've even crammed a 48-piece magnet structure into here, so yes, your MagSafe accessories will still work. They come in loads of different colours, including this lovely see-through silver version that I have here, but the best news is that I've worked with Keisaku to get you a 10% discount. So, to find out more about the Magic Stand case for the iPhone and get yourself that discount, just click that link in the description. This time of the year is a bit desolate for us tech reviewers, so what normally happens is that in January/February, the likes of Samsung and a few other smartphone manufacturers release their new devices. Normally, Apple keeps quiet during that period, but this year they didn't. In January, we got the new M2 chips, we got new MacBook Pros, we got a brand new Mac Mini with the M2 Pro chip. They went a bit mad, and the problem with that is that because we didn't have a spring event, so normally Apple would then do something in March or April to launch a new coloured iPhone and some other stuff. That hasn't happened. So instead, we've had this kind of flurry of activity in January and then nothing. And that nothing will continue until June and WWDC. Now, it could be anything causing this. It could be the chip shortage continuing to ruin the industry. It could be supply chain issues. It could be internal stuff going on at Apple. We don't know as the consumer and as the tech reviewer what on earth is going on behind the scenes. And I know this will make me sound like an Apple fanboy, but I don't care. Apple drives a lot of the narrative online, so when they launch something, whether it be a new phone or a new MacBook or whatever it is basically, the interest in that thing, whether it be smartphones or laptops or something else, goes through the roof. So when Apple goes silent, everything comes down. All the views, all the engagement, all the interest drops. And that begs the question, where does the problem lie? Well, I think the first issue is me and tech reviewers in general. We expect way too much from Apple at times. You know, if there's not a one more thing at an event, that annoys us. We, or I specifically, moan if they don't convert every Lightning device to USB-C. I moan constantly about the lack of Final Cut Pro on the iPad Pro. We want to know where the folding iPhone is, where the Apple Car is, what on earth Apple is doing with VR. It goes on and on and on. We are really annoying. But I think there's another problem which is much, much bigger, and that is the fact that these devices are brilliant. It's incredibly difficult these days to buy a rubbish smartphone or a rubbish laptop. They are all really good. It takes an awful lot to get people excited about technology these days, and then along comes AI. Check out this clip from my recent newsletter. Oh, by the way, if you're not subscribed to the newsletter, click the link in the description. But yeah, just have a watch of this. My YouTuber friend, Alex, pointed me in the direction of a tool called Gling. Now, when I finished filming all of my terrible A-roll stuff over here, it ends up as 2 files. So we've got both cameras' files here, MP4s. Normally, I'd then chuck that into Final Cut Pro, and like I say, spend an hour editing it. However, with Gling, drop it into there. Here, I can say to it, okay, this is my terrible A-roll shoot. I want you to cut out all of the silences, so the bits where I've stopped talking or I'm moving the B cam around, whatever it might be. Click continue, and then it does some AI magic. Okay, so that has finished. It took about 10 minutes, I think, which is fair enough. Gling has watched my video essentially and picked out all of the stuff that I've said in the video, but more impressively, it's cut out all of the repeated and the bad takes. And then I can export it to Final Cut Pro. If I go into the project, look at this. It's created the completely edited A-roll for me. That's pretty impressive, isn't it? The other thing that AI does is reveal just how bad Siri is, and please don't talk to me about our Siri at home experiment. It's going horribly wrong. But the point being, when ChatGPT, although it can't set your timer for your eggs and play the greatest hits of Paul Weller, it does respond to you in a spookily human-like fashion, and it does it quickly, relatively accurately, and it's actually a joy to use. And it's headline worthy. Gling that I showed you a moment ago, that's headline worthy, and for good reason. It's just more interesting than the latest smartphone. And I don't think that Apple saw this coming. I think they are just as surprised as you and I about how quickly the AI thing has caught on. Now, Apple has been using AI and machine learning for many years, and we do benefit from it right now with devices like the iPhone. And I'm sure they're doing some incredibly exciting things in their secret bunkers, but that's kind of the point. We don't know what they're doing, and who knows when we're going to see it. Put simply, Apple needs to give us some news quickly, and it needs to be just as exciting and forward-thinking and revolutionary as AI. And if we think about the candidates for WWDC, we've got the VR headset, which is genuinely exciting. Oh, and then we get the new versions of macOS, iOS, iPadOS, etc, etc. We're not going to see the Apple Car, obviously. We might see a 15-inch MacBook Air, and that's about it. So my question to you is, what do you want to see Apple do next? What do you want to see at WWDC? Do you want to see something revolutionary? And if so, what? Or are you just happy for Apple to continue with their iterative design process? Let me know in the comments. And if you've still got some time, firstly, thank you for getting this far in this video. If you have, it's been a bit of a different one. It's been very kind of reflective and a bit ranty here and there. But if you have got this far and you've still got some time and you've had enough of this AI stuff for now, keep watching for a good old-fashioned Mark Ellis Reviews headphone review.